Hello everyone, belated welcome to a weekly writing vlog. I have meant to film much sooner, but I did not. So it is Thursday, July 3rd, it is 9:30 in the morning. First things first, I called out today because tomorrow's July 4th, Independence Day. I am not sure why anybody wants to celebrate anything in America these days, but I know that traffic is going to be awful today. And long story short, I live just past an exit for one of the biggest vacation destinations in Maryland, and I was not looking forward to the traffic, so I just called out today. And I feel bad because I took off for next Thursday because I have my Ghost concert next week, but it is what it is. You know, I have the time, I'm gonna use it. So yeah, welcome to a new writing vlog. Meant to film last week, that didn't happen. I'm here now. Also, I have a pimple patch on, so please excuse that. I had just a monster pimple coming in this whole week, and this morning it looked terrible. So I popped it and put a pimple patch on it, because I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like when I slap a pimple patch on, it doesn't do anything unless the pimple is already popped and can actually empty. But yeah, and my hair is wet because of my shower, so excuse that as well. So yeah, last week I wrote and I just didn't film, and I didn't write a lot. I only wrote, I think, 2, maybe 3 chapters. I just wasn't feeling it for some reason, and I think it might be because of how utterly hot it has been. And we're in a house that doesn't have central AC. Like you see, I have a window unit that I bought last year. So basically, during this heat wave, this room has been very nice and comfortable, and the downstairs living room has been nice and comfortable, but the rest of the house is just insanely hot. I can't sleep because of how hot the bedroom gets. It's rough. So yeah, I think I just wasn't really feeling like doing anything because of how hot and miserable it was. But I did, like I said, I wrote chapters 6 and 7 and 8. So yeah, I wrote 3 chapters last week. This week, I got to switch over into my Hobonichi. I didn't do anything on Monday. I had intentions, and it's why I don't have any footage, you know, because I was like, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna film a real intro for a writing vlog, and I'm gonna film all day today, I'm gonna get so much done, and then I didn't. And I would like to blame the game Date Everything, but I only played that for a couple of hours, and then I was just being lazy. So on Tuesday, I wrote chapter 9 of Project Hunger, and then yesterday, Wednesday, I wrote chapter 10, and it took me forever. This chapter ended up being like 3,600 words, and I was basically writing up until bedtime yesterday, and I'm happy I finished it, but I am worried when I go back to it, like, that the chapter probably ended a little abruptly, but I'm not going to focus on that today. Like, in my mind, that scene is done. I'm moving on. But I am excited about chapters 9 and 10. We are still in the fun and games. We're probably in the middle of the fun and games right now. And in chapter 9, May witnesses what Cormac is, like, with her own eyes. Like, she's kind of suspected it up until now with, like, little, I guess, clues that have been laid out. But she actually sees Cormac feeding on somebody, and I'm sure I have to fix it up and, you know, really go in there intentionally, but I wanted the chapter to be kind of like, you know, highlighting the horror of what she was seeing, but also it's sensual in a way. Like, I don't know, it's weird. It's a dark romance, okay? Like, yeah, she was really into it, you know, watching him feed. And then the scene ended with her super ashamed and disgusted with herself, because obviously. But it was a really fun scene to write, and I really enjoyed it. And then chapter 10 is like kind of a breakthrough where Cormac gets her to admit to her deepest, darkest secret, essentially. And then they kiss for the first time. So that was fun to write too, although like I said, I know I have to work on that chapter again in revisions. So today, I want to brainstorm chapter 11, and then at least start chapter 11. And I wrote start instead of just write or start and finish, because I really don't know what to expect from chapter 11. Like, I have my vague ideas of what's coming next, but I have left this outline a little open so that I can have fun and play around with it. So I'm not 100% sure how long this chapter will be, like chapter 10, which will probably need to be split up, you know, somehow in the next draft. But chapter 10 was 3,600 words, so I don't know if this chapter will be as long or longer, heaven forbid. I didn't have scene cards at work, but I really wanted to, I needed to organize these scenes and determine where they fall in the fun and games. Like the fun and games is definitely the longest beat in this story. So I took a piece of printer paper from the printer at work and I cut it up so that I could have some scene cards. So this is all I have left of the fun and games, just 3 scenes. Now, I also was using, I've mentioned it before, sorry I know I'm rambling, the autistic 27 chapter method. In her method, Act 2 has like the first handful of beats before the midpoint: new world, fun and games, old world, and build up. So when I compare that side by side with Save the Cat, I think Fun and Games and Save the Cat encompasses those 4 beats. So I had separated these scenes by New World, which I've already written, and then the Fun and Games, this scene, the Old World, which is, as Cattastic, kind of puts it, is the character's old life kind of coming back into play, whether it's like maybe their old way of thinking or characters from their past, stuff like that. And that actually really, I'm surprised by how easily that worked for this, what I have planned out. It kind of felt like I was just doing something right in that regard. So that is my Old World scene, and then the build-up scene right before the midpoints, which also, like, I really feel like this story is working for me, and I'm not sure what happened, but it's like something clicked into place for this specific story, and I've just been having so much fun with it. And honestly, I realized I was driving home from work yesterday, and I realized that I think one of the things I'm really enjoying about this is that I am keeping it strictly to May's first-person point of view. And I feel like especially with spicy romance, it's kind of the genre convention, I guess, that the stories are from both characters' first-person point of view. It alternates. And I was doing that for a while, but I feel like that's what trips me up in all of my stories. I feel like that is probably why my Pine Hollow series failed, and I enjoyed writing Jackson's point of view for that story, but I think I would have just had an easier time if I told the whole story strictly from Poppy's point of view. So maybe I'll do that in the future, because I think it was just another thing that I was kind of forcing in trying to mold myself into the romance author that everyone else is. So I don't know, I think it's helping me to just tell this story from one character's point of view. And that's something that I can always, I can spice that up later. Maybe if I finish this, if I publish this, whatever, I could do a few scenes from Cormac's point of view. I could rewrite it entirely from his point of view and release that as well. And it's just nice to not have to worry about balancing the 2 points of view, I guess. And I think that's been a game changer for me for this particular story at the very least. So I'm excited. I've also been like coming up with random ideas because I don't write on the weekends. I've mentioned this before. I allow myself time away from my project on the weekends, just take a break, refuel, whatever. But sometimes I do want to still kind of do something creative on the weekends, and so it's gotten to the point where now on the weekends I spend time like brain dumping ideas into just documents on my iPad, basically, where I just will let loose characters, loose, vague plot things, and it's like I'm coming up with all of these new story ideas that I want to write. And so it's been a little difficult. Like Monday comes back around and I'm like, all right, I got to get back into the mindset for Project Hunger. But it is nice to have something to work on over the weekend that doesn't really matter. And by the time Project Hunger is done, I have all these other story ideas I could turn to if I want, or obviously I can just do new things. So things have been okay writing wise. I feel like I am just in a good place mentally with my writing. I think yesterday I crossed over into 25,000 words. Yes, I am at 25,057 words in this draft. So I'm gonna guess that what I have here, I will probably be around 32,000 when I get to the midpoint. And obviously, if it works out to where the midpoint is the exact middle, and then I have another 30,000 words, it'll bring my total to around 60,000. And I think that's a good total for a first draft, especially. So yeah, I am feeling really good. I have rambled for 10 fucking minutes, so I'm going to stop. I'm gonna go downstairs, get another cup of coffee, and then I'm gonna come back up here and work on brainstorming chapter 11 and figuring out how the hell it's actually going to go. Okay, so I can't talk too loud, and I'm sorry I haven't been filming today. It's just my fiance was home like I was, you know, Independence Day. But I did just finish chapter 11, and I wrote 1,985 words plus yesterday's 556 words, and it is still the fun and games, obviously. And chapter 12 is kind of like the big intimate scene, and that'll be fun to write, especially because it does involve Cormac biting May for fun. But I probably won't get started on that until Monday. And then after I finish that scene, I still have 2 more scenes in the fun and games before we get to the midpoint. And I want to get to the midpoint by next Friday, but I do have my ghost concert on Wednesday, so I'm not sure if that'll happen. Maybe I'll break my no writing on weekends rule and work on this over the weekend. I guess that's the end of this vlog. Like I said, I'm sorry I didn't really film today. I didn't know my fiance was gonna be home. But I have to get this footage, like upload it and edit it. I've just had a bunch of stuff around the house that I've been doing today, so that's why I'm finishing so late. It's 4 p.m. But I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to get this footage edited as soon as I can. I want to get this vlog up as soon as I can because I still have stuff I need to do. I have to look into other caterers for our wedding because the one I was talking to kind of feels like they're trying to rip us off. I have to design, I want to give out custom coffee mugs to my bridal party, and so I want to get started on that design. I might do that today, but yeah, I have stuff to do, but I want to get this footage, at least edit it, and I can work on uploading tomorrow if need be. So kind of a low-key week this week, but I am very close to the midpoint. I'm feeling really good. In total, I've written almost 9,000 words this week, so not bad. And I'm still really loving this project, and I kind of can't wait to share it with people. But obviously I still have quite a bit of time until I can. But yeah, so thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate you being here. And I will try to film next week and hopefully try to reach the midpoint by the end of next week. So yeah, I will see you in my next video.